Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't see you guys there. I'm Ricky Lopez, once again as your host for Flix. Now, as you can see, this is obviously not the original studio where I've made my previous Flix episodes. No, we are currently in my living room at my home. As many of you know by now, alongside schools, restaurants, and other places of work, movie theaters across the nation have shut down in response to trying to stop the spread of COVID-19. That said, many people can find living in quarantine to be very, very boring. And at this point, streaming services have never been more appreciated. And I'm talking about Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Amazon Prime, and a whole lot more. In my opinion, when you got enough time on your hands, there's nothing better than kicking back and watching a really, really good movie. For the next couple of days, I'm going to be talking about each installment in a particular series that's streaming right now on Netflix that you should definitely consider watching if you want to watch something good. Now, this particular series is an adventurous, action-packed, and at times frightening thrill ride that follows a daring archaeologist searching for lost artifacts while facing enemies that too desire the treasures. That's right, I'm talking about the Indiana Jones movies. Conjured up by the minds of legendary filmmakers George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, the Indiana Jones series has throughout the years continued to be a hallmark in the action-adventure genre, as well as making Harrison Ford an even bigger star. This is how it all happened. Way back in 1977, Steven Spielberg had just wrapped up his second blockbuster, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is a cult classic I highly recommend. After wrapping Close Encounters, he decided to take a well-earned vacation in Hawaii, and believe it or not, his buddy George Lucas was there too, trying to escape the enormous success that Star Wars had made since it was released that same year. When they met up, Spielberg told Lucas that he was interested in making a James Bond movie. You could probably imagine how lit up George Lucas's face was upon hearing this, because he subsequently told him that he had created a character that was apparently the better version of James Bond, and he told him the story. Spielberg loved it, and within a few years, with Spielberg directing, George Lucas executive producing, Lawrence Kasdan writing the screenplay, and having Harrison Ford portray the lead role, we finally got the first installment in this beloved franchise, and personally, my favorite movie of all time, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Set in the year 1936, renowned archaeologist, adventurer, and college professor Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford, is hired by the US government to find the Ark of the Covenant, which is believed to still hold the Ten Commandments, as well as the invincible power of God. Unfortunately, agents of Hitler are also after the Ark, including Indy's personal rival, Renee Belloc, played by Paul Freeman. With the help of his old flame, Marion Ravenwood, played by Karen Allen, Indy sets out on an unforgettable quest and adventure that takes them from Nepal to Cairo, escaping from various close scrapes in order to reach the Ark in time.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, a film from Steven Spielberg and George Lucas.
Only one word comes to mind when describing Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that word is perfect. I mean, what more could you want? The action is non-stop, the effects are spectacular, the performances are amazing, Spielberg's direction, Lucas's story, and Kasdan's screenplay are absolutely superb. And you really feel like you're there with Indy for every second of the movie, running away from a ginormous boulder and fighting Nazis at every turn. Now, a lot of my friends have asked me over the years who I think is cooler, James Bond or Indiana Jones? And my answer is always the same. Hands down, Indiana Jones. Now, the Bond fans, please don't hate me. I love the James Bond movies. I'm a huge fan. But let me explain. James Bond is a cool British spy. He has a sweet ride, weapons at hand, beats the bad guy, saves the day, and gets to interact with the pretty ladies. So cool. And all that is great. But it sets a great contrast between James Bond and Indiana Jones. Although Indiana Jones is smart, quick on his feet, handy with a whip and pistol, finds the treasures, and gets to interact with ladies too, he has a lot more flaws. He's cocky, way over his head, doesn't know what he's doing half the time, always puts his friends in danger, and has a lot of lady problems. Nobody's perfect, we all share these flaws. That makes him more relatable, and thus a cooler character. And don't believe me about what I said about Indy? My favorite quote from this movie actually reinforces this fact.
I'm going after that truck.
Oh,
I don't know, I'm making this up as I go.
Enough said. All in all, Raiders of the Lost Ark has left a huge impact in the world of cinema, and I continue to enjoy it every time I watch it. Well, that's all the time I have for now, but we're not quite done yet. In my next episode, I'll be talking about the next installment in the Indiana Jones franchise, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Be sure to check it out when I post it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Flix channel, leave a like at the end of the video, and if you want me to review a particular film that's on any streaming service, leave it in the comment section and I'll take a look at it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time with more Flix on Flix.